Hi, I'm Fayrisk, your new favorite artist. Today we're doing another cozy sketchbook session. Grab yourself a drink, a snack, or doodle along with me while I have a little chat with you. Here we go! This time I didn't know what to draw and I felt a bit weird starting sketching at all. I loved how the sketchbook filled up so far, but it was hard to find something that sparked my inspiration this time. I looked up fashion pose references on Pinterest because I wasn't really inspired. I thought it would be a great idea to work on my body proportions. I started out with a green text marker for the base sketch and went over it with a pink pen because I really love the color combo and the spring vibes that it creates. It feels like such a serotonin color boost. Since I had a hard time with this spread, I want to talk about how I recently tackled a massive art block that I experienced for a few months, and I'm not quite sure if I'm even over it by now. This art block occurred due to a few bad things that happened in 2024 that swept me out of my feet. I felt hopeless about my future, myself, and my art, including my business too. As some of you might know, I have a small shop on Etsy where I sell stickers and similar stationery items for about 5 years now. I also posted a small comic slideshow on Instagram to communicate how I felt at the time, and funnily enough, this has become my most liked post so far. I guess a lot of people could relate. During my art block, that I think still hasn't really passed fully, I had no inspiration or motivation to create anything new, and it was super hard for me to come up with fresh ideas, especially for my shop. I was considering closing my shop for good and reducing myself to only doing personal art, but I knew that wasn't what I really wanted. I really wanted to, and still want to sell products that I like making and that I feel inspired to create. I just had no fuel to keep going. I was also running out of money. I'm just gonna talk a bit about the sketch that you're seeing right now. I used a random screenshot I took of Sun from 80s from his Instagram as a reference to improve on drawing from a reference, without a sketch underneath. I think it's not too bad for drawing without an underlying structural sketch. Even though it might be stressful to have no sketch underneath, I think it's a great eye-hand coordination exercise. By coincidence, I had to do a few bigger projects for uni last semester and rediscovered my love for video editing. This is where I decided to revive my old YouTube channel and give it a go to post videos again. My goal was to utilize that spark that was ignited by doing a video project for one of my assignments. I am really looking forward to sharing the project with you soon. Here I found an old picture of my cat Shinji, yes, like the Evangelion character, when he was still a baby and super tiny. I felt like drawing him looking very innocent even though he's a little devil. I tried to draw the exact same thing right next to the original sketch to see if I could push the cuteness even further. With the uni project I just talked about, I also explored my love for pixel art again. I already had some experience with it when I used the pixel art style for a few sticker sheets and Instagram posts for my shop. I really liked the look and uniqueness. I have not seen many artists in my realm of awareness that were pursuing pixel art commercially. At least it's pretty rare to see at conventions these days. Maybe because highly rendered art styles are pretty popular, rightfully so. But I like pixel art for its limitations and possibilities. You can use the limits to push your skills and experiment in a low entry level. This is at least why I think anyone should try it at least once. You don't even need a drawing tablet for it, which I think is amazing for anyone that wants to access creating digital art without any costs. I looked up tutorials and tips to get better. My goal is to create even more pixel art in the future, and I want to create interesting animations and creative worlds as well as trying out fan art. Anyways, I am still trying my best to keep creating and holding up the required energy to push out new content that I enjoy by heart. I am also constantly on the lookout for art block tips that may help me through this phase. If you have any tips you want to share, I would appreciate a comment down below. Currently, it helped me to come up with original characters, because I become pretty passionate about exploring characters and their personalities, or their world. This became a new thing for me after playing my first D&D campaign this year. I got lost in the details of my character and I fell in love with him and his story. I was happy to be able to use him in a finals project for uni as well. I made it a huge personal project that I indulged more in for myself than for the final grade I would get for it. Here I experimented with pixel animation, which was also the inspirational spark to rebrand myself. I got a lot of positive comments and reassurance that I should explore that style more and keep working on it. That kind of positivity made me feel much better at the time. In my latest redraw video, I redrew an old OC of mine, which I have now fleshed out as a full character too, with a complete character sheet. Very much like my D&D character. I'm already preparing a YouTube video about him, so stay tuned for that video because it will drop soon. This is maybe one tip I can share to conquer art block if nothing else works for you. Create a new OC. Or pick up an old one you abandoned and figure out how to fall back in love with it. Your creativity is your only limit, and you should give yourself some room for exploration when it comes to redesigning your character. A conversation with a friend has helped me to also rediscover my love for casual sketching. And I remembered how much I used to draw into my sketchbooks with no expectations of it being successful or polished. That conversation had me overfilled with inspiration, and I was looking forward to starting a new sketchbook, which is in fact the sketchbook seen here. Even though I struggled a bit, I pushed myself to keep going. Letting go of the expectation that this spread or any of my sketches have to be interesting or perfect. This is my sketchbook after all, and if I want to show any of the sketches, it's up to me, and they only serve as a fun and personal exercise that will bring me closer to my future skilled self. No need to be hard on myself. For this drawing I found a screenshot of a character sketch I drew in 2018 and felt like giving her a full design. As I have mentioned in my sketchbook tour, I wanted to practice drawing more diverse body types, which is what I did with her. And it makes me feel better every time I see others create characters with a similar body type to mine. Because it's a nice opportunity to observe your body type reflected in a positive context. Art is an amazing tool to recontextualize things that seem normal to you, like your own body image. If I have to be honest, I still need to practice drawing more diverse bodies, and I think a good starting point would be using references for that. As you can see, I only used the headshot sketch for this one. I am also a bit apathic to drawing lately because I feel like I need a breakthrough moment. Back when I freshly got into Clip Studio Paint, I felt like I had a major breakthrough with my rendering style, especially with my lighting and shading. And I had the same experience when I started learning about pixel art and animation. But when it comes to my digital artwork in general, I am not enjoying the fact that I revert to drawing headshots, half bodies, or full body shots in a straight and frontal perspective all the time. Even though there is nothing wrong with that in general, I feel like I'm lacking fundamental skills when it comes to perspective and anatomy that is not in the frontal perspective. I should probably sit down for a few days and just practice things that I'm still very uncomfortable with. I would love to explore character interactions, but whenever I want to, I feel like all creativity leaves my body and I'm not as skilled as I maybe think I am. Might also just be my crazy imposter syndrome showing. I would love to hear if some of you might also struggle with that or if I'm just being dramatic again. In the end, I wanted to fill out the empty space around the bigger sketches with a few more loose exercises. Sometimes when I feel uninspired, I just look through my screenshots on my phone and draw whatever I will find. Sometimes I will come up with random shapes, use tribal designs, or anything that I can come up with. As a final message, I want to say that I hope you guys will tackle every art block with ease and find new inspiration on your artistic journey. It is never worth it to give up your passion. I advise you to try new things or revisit old interests of yours. I guarantee you will learn something new or get inspired, even if it might look different. And that's it for this sketch session. Check out my social media links down below, have a pleasant rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.